Hey everybody, welcome back to Champion Sons and our new Madden 24 franchise series, where as you can tell by the highlights from the preseason, we are going to be with the Arizona Cardinals. And this is pretty much, I think, set up right now to be one of our more difficult rebuilds that we're going to have going on right now. The Cardinals are, I believe, the worst rated team in Madden this season at 75 or 73 overall. For their team. Now, the offense, that's not the worst in the world. The defense is kind of where things separate us out from the good teams, the mediocre teams, and, well, then, us. Our offense has got some weapons, right? We've got Zach Ertz. We got Marquise Brown, Pascal. We got talent on the offensive side. We don't really have much of the running back. James Conner, but he's not too much special. He's not all that special of a player at this point, like he was when he first started out at Pittsburgh. But yeah, he's serviceable for a running back. So we're gonna have to look at how we play the game, how we try to rebuild this team, because there's gonna be a lot of pieces that we really need to bring up in this one. And here is where we're going to actually get ready to start taking a look at our team and seeing what we actually have on the depth chart. So starting out, obviously, is going to be the quarterback. Kyler Murray, he's an 80 overall. Got the speed, acceleration, agility, all the great stuff you want for a mobile kind of guy. However, awareness is at 74. Not that great from a starting quarterback. Short accuracy, mid-range accuracy, all that's at 86, 81. Those really need to be higher up. So the deep accuracy is 84, which is great. But, not great, but that's really, you want to see short accuracy in the 90s, mid-accuracy, low 90s, high 80s, but definitely not 81. All right, so here's a running back spot. James Conner, Corey Clement, and I did sign Keontae Ingram from free agency to bring him in. James Conner, he's 77 overall. He doesn't have the greatest speed in the world at 87. Ingram is actually faster and has a lot of better rated stats as far as speed, acceleration. Strength, not so much. And then when you start to get to ball carrier vision, that's where he kind of lacks in that field. But so James Conner is the best we got, but 77 overall. We're going to have to look to see what we can do, right, as far as running back. Because at this point, Kyler Murray's got to show us something at this stage. He's had enough years. Yeah, I know he signed a major contract, and trying to get someone to take his contract might be a little rough as far as a trade deal. But we're going to have to see what we can do to try to bring in some talent. There's Marquise Brown, Moore coming in at an 80. There's Pascal. Then Dortch. Who the hell? Dortch at a 73 overall. Then Wilson and Smith, both of those guys are in the 60s, and round out our receiver core. 6 receivers. Only 2 of them are at 80 or above, and that's Brown at 84, Moore at 80. So, Brown's a definite deep threat. He's a 97 speed. He's got a lot of ability catching traffic and all that. But we're going to have to – I'm not sure how deep we can truly throw the ball, just for the simple fact we don't have a line that can truly hold up to it. And we're going to start taking a look at our defensive line right now. We just saw our tight end group spearheaded by Ertz there. But DJ Humphries is going to be our starting left tackle. He's got pretty decent pass blocking at 84. Once again, you want it to be a little higher, especially for a guy who's got 8 years experience like him. But it is one of these. This first season is going to be a rough one. Elijah Wilkinson's our starting left guard at 72 overall. Kind of a fairly big drop-off. And coming off that side, it makes it hard to run up the middle. But it also allows a lot of pressure to come from up the middle. So if teams are going to be bringing the blitz right there through those, our A-gap and all that crap, we're going to be in trouble. And Freehold, our starting center's at 65. So looking at that, so right now, just with what we've gone through, we need a halfback. We need help in the receiving core. We need help on the interior line for the left side, for the left guard and the left center. Will Hernandez, 76 overall. He's still young enough. He's only been in the league for 5 years. I definitely believe in him. We can probably get at least one more contract series out of him, as long as he would want to re-sign. So I'm good with him. And then our right tackle, Paris Johnson. He was our first round pick in the last draft. So he will be starting over Beachum. Now we might look to move Beachum over maybe. I'll have to see what we can do to adjust him. That might actually help bolster our offensive line some. But right now, I am excited about Paris Johnson. See what kind of development trait he gets once we get up to that 500 play limit. Here's where things start getting pretty rough for us, is on the defensive side and starting out on the line. Collier's are starting left end. Okay, starting. And he's at a 67 overall. Think about it. We went from a guy like J.J. Watt last season to him retiring, and now we have Collier starting on the left end. That's the drop-off that we had. Even on the right end, Rashard Lawrence, 67 overall. I mean, he's got decent acceleration, but he's got his strength is his strength. That's really about it. Awareness is only at a 72, so that's nothing special. He's going to miss plays. All right, and then defensive tackle, we didn't have a whole lot going for us. I did pick up Moro Ojimo from free agency. The other guys, they right now are in the practice squad. We do run the 3-4, so I'm not too stressed about needing to bring those guys up at this point. So we'll have to see kind of what happens throughout the season, but there's another spot we need. So right now we need defensive ends. We need defensive tackles. We need a whole defensive line. In the linebacker core, the back end of that front seven, is we start to see some improvement. B.J. Ojulari, another one of our rookies, our good draft pick, 72 overall. He's going to have he's got definite potential. Okay, his speed, acceleration, agility, all that is right where you want it to be. And then Zaven Collins anchoring down the middle linebacker core. He's young. He's only been in the league for 2 years. He'll be next to Kazir White in a lot of the 3-4 setups. Those two guys, I'm excited to see them in the middle and what they can do as far as, clogging up the run, but also they're going to have to do some work in the passing game. Now, Cameron Thomas, you saw him in one of the highlights there getting that sack. He is going to be more of a speed rusher coming off that edge, so we will need him to build that up. But he's another guy who's real young, only 1 year experience, and is going to be able to kind of anchor down that side. It's just going to take him a while to get brought up. Linebackers are probably the best part of our defense, because now we look at our defensive backs. Okay, Rodgers is out for the season. We lost our best corner out for the season in the first preseason game. Torn PCL. He is on injured reserve, out 26 weeks, so we put him on injured reserve. He's done for. So looking at these guys that we got, I mean, Wilson's at 74, Hamilton's at 72. Then everybody else, Matthew, Fenton, and Williams, are all at 70 overall. This is not what you want to have really going into the season. Now, Isaiah Simmons, I did move him from strong safety to free safety. I think he'll do a lot better for us there and allows us to possibly trade Jalen Thompson. Seeing how this season shapes out, we may be big sellers come the midpoint. We'll have to kind of see. Right now, I want to see what this team can do. Budda Baker being a big-time playmaker there in the defensive backfield. I really love having him back there to kind of anchor that down. So now looking at our schedule, starting out against 3 NFC East teams. The Commanders, not too bad of a threat, but Giants, Cowboys, and then we are on the road to the 49ers. But then look, we get to play the AFC North. So we're playing the NFC West and the AFC North. That's great. Now we're going to sprinkle in teams like the Falcons and stuff in there. But for the most part, we got to deal with the 49ers and the Seahawks twice. Then you throw in the Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Giants. And then, hey, let's just throw in the Bengals, the Steelers, and the Ravens. Why not do that? This season has potential to be a big-time rough one. We'll see what we get to around the trade deadline. Like I said, we may be big-time sellers. But it is definitely going to be an interesting one. So stay tuned for everything we got going off in this season, and we will begin that in the next episode, kicking off on the road against the Commanders. I look forward to seeing y'all there. Thank y'all for joining me in this one. Excited for it. I'll see y'all in the next episode, everybody. So as always, stay safe, and well, y'all know how it goes by now, right? Later, y'all.